All right, what's up, everybody? This is our real review of Wonder Woman. Part 2.
The Spoilercast.
Spoilercast of Wonder Woman.
Yes.
I'm here. I finally saw the movie. Got around to it. I know. I appreciate it. I watched the video. I just want to throw a call out. Thanks for waiting for me, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Also want to call out.
And I mentioned that there would be 4 chairs, but I lied. There's 5.
Right. Oh, I only get 1 call out. Is that what you're saying?
You only get 1 time for us to wait for you.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm gonna try and not move anything else around. But I also want to have a call out.
Literally and metaphorically.
How dare you?
Yep. The director of the previous Batman movies was Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Not Nolan
we said
North.
Nolan North.
I just want to correct. Everybody was talking about. They were like, "Oh yeah, you remember the other like the Batman Begins, the Dark Knight, stuff like that." Those were directed by Nolan North. And I was watching that as I was watching that car. I just was like, "Oh my!" I actually stopped the video, called Ryan, and was like, "Dude, what the heck?" And then I never finished the rest of it.
This is why we need you.
I know, right? So yeah, definitely Christopher Nolan, who is one of my personal
favorite directors. Like that Weezer song,
directors.
"Put Me Back Together," whatever.
Never heard that song, so I don't know.
Put me back together. Dude, that's what's
Can we do a cover of that?
Yeah,
please, of just all of us.
Weezer Spoilercast.
We all have to pretend to be a different instrument.
Sure.
But no. So Wonder Woman.
Barbershop.
Barbershop Quintet.
It's being heralded as the best DC superhero movie that has come out so far.
I agree 100%.
Hell yeah, it's better than most Marvel movies.
I'm on board with that. Are you?
I would have to think, but yeah, I'd say it's definitely top tier.
Okay, so
I think it's better than all the DC movies, and it's better than at least half the Marvel movies.
Like I said on our spoiler-free one, this is my favorite superhero movie now.
Okay,
100%.
That's awesome. Yeah. I liked it. I don't know how much I loved it. I was gonna go see it a second time, kind of like because literally every person I've talked to has said that they loved it and they thought it was great, and it's the best of the modern DC movies, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I get that. I'm like, it was good. I didn't have too many awful problems with it. We're gonna get into it, but I don't know. I personally, I still really liked Batman v Superman, and I don't know if I liked it more than this or not. But I've also seen Batman v Superman like 10,000 times, and I've obviously only seen this.
So maybe
one.
on the 10,000.
Maybe the 10,000 Wonder Woman, it might be better.
It'll eclipse it.
But real quick, something you just said. It's better than all the DC superhero movies. Now, do you mean just Batman v Superman and Man of Steel? Or like any of them at all?
No, I think like the Nolan Batman movies were better.
Nolan North.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like,
recent DC.
Okay,
like
so
Zack Snyder,
so you mean like the 3 that have been out?
Like Zack Snyder, Dark, Evil, Hell, like those ones.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I was gonna say The Dark Knight is like my favorite movie of all time. Like any movie, not just superhero movies, but of every movie I've ever seen in my entire life, The Dark Knight is my favorite.
Okay.
So yeah, obviously, big in comic books, big stuff like that, right? Which was The Dark Knight Rises. So yeah, okay, cool. So what did you guys like about this movie? Like, what made it better than any other DC movie that you've seen?
Well, I think you said it best. It's the best rendition.
Yeah.
So they took it and they definitely made their best version of it.
Yeah. What I said during the spoiler-free version, I think it's the first superhero movie that's the most grounded in reality.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I agree. It's clearly most of the stuff that you saw could have actually been the way that it was. Now, I mean, clearly you have Wonder Woman, you have Ares.
Sure.
Couldn't have happened.
Right.
But most of the other stuff, I mean, this is based on World War I, a very important piece of our history.
Yep.
And it's the most thing that, like I said, it's the most grounded in our reality. And I mean, I think that's something that a lot of, like, this isn't going to be for the kids or for people who want a lot of superhero type stuff in their superhero movies.
Right.
This is something that's a lot more personal,
more believable,
a lot more believable.
Okay.
And I think it resonated with a lot more people, which is why it's doing so well.
Okay.
It's appealing to people that aren't necessarily fans of superheroes.
I was going to say this is like the best DC movie because they treated their superhero like a superhero. Like,
right.
Instead of the past, like, Zack Snyder ones, I feel like they made them, like, really human and tried to give them, like, all these problems and stuff, and it didn't really, like,
which is how I felt they did with
really
Wonder
Woman. Right? But it was like superhero problems though. It wasn't like normal people problems. They treated her like a superhero.
Sure.
I feel like she didn't have normal people problems either though. As of, I have to fight the god of war, and I'm from a paradise island where it's all women, and they just flew through, or he just flew through a magic cloud and crashed on my island. Like that's not a very people problem. Is it?
No.
That's an Amazonian problem.
Tell me, you
Sure.
don't have that problem?
Well, I personally
I
don't
deal
have
with that
problem.
every day.
But and I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to pick
I
a
know.
fight or anything.
No.
But like something like Man of Steel.
All right.
Get out of here.
But something like Man of Steel, where it's like you see Clark Kent like grow up from being a baby through like adulthood. Like I feel like he definitely had like some very big like
But they
issues.
also have to like their renditions of they have to like figure out what their powers are and figure out they have these things. Like Wonder Woman and all the like Amazonians, they knew they were badass.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure, okay.
They already knew.
So you're saying that in this movie they kind of cut out all the like they like trimmed the fat of
They
the
did.
of,
Like they didn't
figuring it out.
revisit like the traditional superhero formula where like I'm figuring out I have powers and all the
Right.
yada, yada,
It
yada.
was
That's
more
why,
real.
That's why it
It
seems
was-
like a good.
So it kind of like
good
got
superhero
to the
movie.
point a little bit quicker.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can
in
start doing
Wonder
like
Woman
real
than it
movie
did.
stuff
or
instead
how
of
it
the
should
same
have.
formula.
Not
Sure,
necessarily,
okay.
necessarily quicker, but how it should
Yeah.
have.
Okay. I agree with
And
that.
that was a lot better with character building too.
Yes.
Except
Yes.
with Ares.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Well, right. He's a werewolf to
That's
a god.
my main quip of the
Yeah,
movie.
that's
which,
really
like,
funny.
I will just-
That's exactly what my
glad you
girlfriend
got
said
it.
in the theater.
I'm glad
As
you
soon as
got
she's
that.
like, oh my god, she's like, starts something. She goes, do you know who that is?
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
said
why is his
that
voice?
in
I'm
the
like, oh, he
movie.
was from Harry Potter. Totally thought at first when we started talking, thought it was Sirius Black, and then I was like, wait a minute,
Nope.
that's Gary Oldman with Sirius Black. That is not Gary Oldman. And she goes, no, that's Lupin. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, Professor
that's
Lupin
him.
from a werewolf
Oh,
to a
got it.
god.
There you go. Isn't that crazy? Like, what an upgrade, God.
Right.
They should have had Kratos though. They mistaken.
I know, right? Kratos should have popped in and just been like, been there. I
God
will
War
say
4
though,
should've just popped up.
I am so happy though that Ares was in this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Right,
I am so
right.
happy.
I agree.
that was part because if they would have gone through this movie and it had not been Ares and it was just like at the end of the movie she learned that it's like okay, it's not Ares isn't like poisoning the hearts of men, but it's just like this is just the way humans are. If she'd have learned that, I'd have been really pissed.
They could have done a really cool thing with that, though.
They could
Yeah.
have, but the entire movie, Wonder Woman is thinking, I'm here to destroy Ares. This is my mission. This is the only reason I'm here. And if you take that reason away, then what the hell was the point of me watching this
It's the whole
movie?
theme of the movie, like
I
her
mean-
fighting for what she believes in and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And she, like, the whole movie's like her being a fish out of water and stuff, and that would have been like the ultimate, like, nothing is what I thought it was anymore. If she
And
found
see,
out
and,
that
and
there
I,
really wasn't.
I personally don't like that because then it just goes back into okay, great. So what did she learn at the end of this movie? Is that okay? Cool. This is a different place than where I grew up, and that's the end of the movie. And then there's no closure, and it's like great. That's the ultimate cliffhanger. Now I'm waiting for Wonder Woman 2,
No.
which isn't going to happen forever.
The real end of the movie
Justice
for
League.
me was
Yeah,
when
Justice League.
it went back
But
to the
Justice League doesn't take place until after, like, literally the last 5 minutes of Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman, for all intents and purposes, the movie was the flashback.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you had the
Yeah.
beginning
You saw
5
the
minutes
beginning,
where
you
she
saw the
gets the
end, yeah.
picture.
Right.
You get the end where she's typing on the surface, whatever.
Yeah, to Bruce.
And it's like,
And they're
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
guys,
so, like,
don't
that.
forget Justice League is coming.
Exactly. So, and
Buy
that's
that.
exactly, and that's it, and that's just like, and that part can lead into Justice League. But for all intents and purposes, this movie ended on the day that World War I pretty much ended.
Yes.
All right, which was
Right.
like in 19 like
That was their
18 or
Same
something
portrayal.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't think he died either. I don't think she killed Ares.
destroyed him.
Maybe she wrecked him.
Demolished.
But like so for all intents and purposes, this movie ended at World War I. So it's like okay, she would have learned whatever, but there's still an entire 100 more years of like Wonder Woman learning stuff and like figuring out how the world is, and it's
Yeah.
like. I'm happy. That's my whole point. Is why I'm happy Ares was in this because that way, like, there was closure for this story. You know what I
I don't
mean?
know
Like,
if they're gonna do that though,
wrapped up
because
this
I could
story.
see them making this going like, let's have her fight Nazis and stuff in World
Totally
War II.
agree.
But
And
they
I
can't
want
do
to
that
see
because
that.
it would have been a Captain America ripoff.
Right,
They're like, crap, what are we gonna do? We gotta
And that was
fight
the
in
other
World
thing
War
that
I.
I got such huge vibes of this movie. To me, when I walked out through, the first thing I thought was this movie is Thor in the world of Captain America. And I didn't like Captain America 1, and I hated Thor 1. And this movie was like a combination of those two for me in my mind. But for some reason, I still came out the theater thinking, oh, I kind of like that. And I think my issue with that, why I didn't like Captain America 1, why I didn't like this all that much, is because I don't like how you, Brian, mentioned that, okay, this is like set in reality. Like, this is a big part of our history. Like,
Yeah.
we can relate to this. This actually happened. I think I don't like that because World War I really happened. I can go into a book and read how World War I unfolded, and then you mean to tell me that Wonder Woman was there, and Wonder Woman is the reason that World War I ended?
That's like
and then the same as like Captain
you call
America.
him a liar?
Yeah, like you're saying Captain America is the reason that World War II ended? Like, Captain America was not in World War II. That didn't happen. Don't try and like force me to believe that that's what happened. And so I think for me, like, that's true. I wasn't there. And that's really funny. That's what my boss actually said to me when I was telling him all this. And he's like, how do you know? Were you there? And I'm like, that's a fair point.
Damn it.
I was not there. I don't know. Maybe Wonder Woman really was there. I don't know.
Wait, do you know about the 7-minute theory or something, that you can't prove anything over 7 minutes ago actually happened? Like, it was all implemented in your brain. So,
it's something about the human brain. Something about the human brain.
Existence could have started right now.
That's a little
and those
messy.
memories were all implemented in your brain.
Yeah.
So for all you know, Wonder Woman was part of this.
Yeah. This is getting too deep.
How do you even know that I went to go see this movie?
Exactly. I don't. It could be something you fabricated
It's
in your mind.
over.
Oh my God! What if we all saw a different movie? And that's why I don't like it as much.
When you saw the movie, when she put the whip of truth on him, did he say when she asked him what war they were fighting? Was he just like World War I?
Oh my God!
I was waiting for him to do that. They didn't call it World War I.
No, but they called it the Great War.
The war
to end all wars.
Exactly, because during the time, and
As
that
if
I
they
did
were
appreciate.
expecting
I
sequels
did
like these
very
movies.
much appreciate the
the lingo of what
the lingo
Yeah,
and like the
kept
detail,
it-
like
kept
that
it
they
real.
nobody once said World War I in this movie, which is
Right.
great because
Because it
during the
wasn't
time
called back
it
then.
wasn't
Right.
called that.
It
It wasn't
wouldn't
called
have
World
been
War
called that for
I
another-
until
Awesome.
World War II happened.
Yeah.
This was called the Great War. This was called the War to End All Wars. And all those
Which
other
it didn't,
things,
by the way.
which they did, of course not.
If anybody
and
doesn't
that's-
know.
there will
I
always be
liked
war.
that. So the detail in this on point, and like the detail with everything like in this movie was great. Like I loved the settings and I loved like the areas they went to and stuff like that. But I think just like overall it being history, like I was so grounded in reality the whole movie. And then you get to the end and Ares starts flying around and she's like throwing whips and like throwing all this metal and like flipping tanks and all that. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little like I was so sad
that's
this,
when the superhero stuff
Yeah.
actually
But
started
They
coming
reeled
out.
it.
Yeah.
They
And I
reeled it
think
in
that-
so much more than all the Marvel movies, all the DC movies. At the end, it's just like a big CGI nightmare at the end of all.
Yeah, and,
But
and
this
that
one, it
ripped
wasn't.
me out.
It wasn't
of the
that bad in this
experience.
one. You could tell
I
they
agree.
really reeled it back. For this. It
Honestly,
wasn't
yeah.
that bad. Like
I
it
The
was.
whip
did it
ripped
for him.
me out.
Really?
man.
I thought the whip
CGI
was
cool.
good.
No,
I
I
thought
did
the whip
too.
looked good.
I did
like
too.
It did in
The
parts,
only-
and then parts you could say, okay. But like I said, there's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
There's
can't. You
no
can't.
other way
Like,
to do
right.
it.
Right.
So unless
Like I
she's
said, you
just gonna
can't take a rope
string
and
out
point at
there
orange
start,
and
yeah.
hope
Yeah,
for the best.
exactly. So, and I totally get it, and that's great. And I think implementing Wonder Woman as a character was great. As an origin story for Wonder Woman to teach me who she is, this was great.
Worked out really well.
Like
Right.
I think this is awesome. I understand
agree.
Wonder Woman now at a base level, like what she is. I get she's a strong, independent woman. Like all this stuff, like wonderful, like great, good for you. You can stand up with the best of the guys. Like you're just as badass as Batman, just as badass as Superman. I get that. That's what this movie set out to prove. That's awesome. But then, like, I go back and I'm like thinking about all the other parts, and I'm like, she was kind of dumb in this movie, though. And I
Very
think
But that was-
one-sided, because
that
she doesn't
was what
know
she
anything.
knew.
Sure,
She
okay,
wasn't
and so
dumb.
this
She
is,
was
and,
just-
and
that
that's
was
what,
what she
what
knew.
everybody
Right.
said.
She
Yeah,
was
and
just
that's exactly
tough
because I said
and
this to
she-
Maggie.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the first thing Maggie said. It was a 10 out of 10. This is one of like her favorite movies just of all time. She loved it, and I was like,
She also
okay,
like
cool.
Power Rangers, so take that.
She
into
she did she did like Power Rangers. She likes
I
a
like
lot of
Power
bad
Rangers.
movies,
I
but
No, Power Rangers.
so
wasn't
it's like
No.
this
had to.
with something like this, I
Sorry,
think
Maggie.
it's awesome, and we kind of agreed with not to be like mean or demeaning or anything, but this was like a very like I feel like woman focused movie.
Yeah.
Not that this is like a chick flick.
It was
That's
really
not
like
what I mean.
feminist centric in the best, coolest way
Yeah, it was
possible.
supposed to be, though. I feel like they
totally
tried
agree.
to make
and
it like
that
that.
message definitely came across. That it's like, yes, this movie is to show that this woman is a badass. She is powerful. She does not need no stinking man. You know what I mean?
That was
And
like one of
that's
my favorite
awesome.
parts is when they're like clothes shopping and she's like, "Why do like girls wear this stuff?"
Yeah, and she's
Why are
like,
you
"Well,
supposed
how
to-"
This is
like,
what
I
they wear
can't
to
move."
battle?
And when
Like,
she
how do I
when,
have to battle
when he's
and all
talking
that, yeah.
when Chris Pine's talking about his secretary and she's like, "Where I come from, that
That's
means
called slavery, right? And then
I
yeah,
love
exactly, and
that.
that's awesome. And like, it's the jokes like that, like, is really cool. But then it was like the things where it was like, oh, here, just eat this. It's ice cream. And she goes, oh my god, ice cream. What?
which
this the
was a
greatest
throwback,
thing.
and it was
so
a really
good.
cool throwback to previous, the Wonder Woman TV shows and stuff.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I've never
that
watched
was
the TV
a
show.
little bit of a cameo.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Then I don't have as much of an issue then
The
with
ice
that.
cream made a cameo.
Because
Right,
that
you
was
should
like a
be
thing.
so proud of
Yeah.
Like
yourself.
having like the
Vanilla
ice cream
made
and
a
her being
cameo.
like, oh, you should be so
Vanilla
proud of
bean.
this.
No,
yeah,
they
like,
specifically did that on purpose.
okay, cool. So then
Yes.
that makes me feel a little better
But
about that.
I do wish they would have done it a little bit more like, what is this? I don't know what it is. Obviously, she didn't know what snow was, so
and seeing things like that, like I get, and like the snow, and being like, okay, cool, because then the way that was handled was really well. That it was like a soft moment, you know what I mean? Like things like that.
I have to put in if Zeus created this perfect world for the Amazonians and made it, protected from everything, is snow really that bad that they didn't want snow in there?
Yeah, dude. You ever had to drive through the streets of Ohio on December 22nd?
Yes, but they don't have to drive. They just jump everywhere they want to go. It doesn't matter.
Well, they're bubbles impervious to weather because there's fog everywhere outside.
Oh, that's right. But that's what I'm saying.
They just had no weather, so they just had sunshine all day long.
Yeah, why is weather really that bad? You're not doing much. You don't have to wade through this weather.
Weather can be bad. Weather can be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I guess. Especially on an island.
I think a big point of it is when you think of paradise, when you think of like a paradise beach island, I'm not thinking that there's snow on the beach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when I think of a paradise, it's sunny, it's bright. So you know what I mean? So I think as part of symbolism and like as a part of like the way they want to present
where
the
they
idea,
are, exactly.
that's kind of where that came. Like she comes from this perfect place.
Like if there wasn't any fog in that area, it wouldn't be snowing anyway.
Exactly. And so it's like the things like that, like the snow where she didn't know what that was, and it's like, okay, cool, like I get it, like that's like I was saying, like that's a soft moment that means something. But then like I'm trying to think, and I really wish I would have seen it again, but it's like there were just so many parts of it where I was just kind of like, you should be like intuitive enough to like know, like when she's like walking through the thing and she's just like walking around with her sword and her shield out and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get that that's where you come from.
Door.
Yeah, exactly. Like I totally get that. Like that's where you come from. You all have your armor out. You all have your sword and your shield and everything. But it's like, be observant enough to look around so that nobody else has that, and be able to like identify that, oh, maybe I shouldn't be like ready at the arms,
But see, then there's no story to tell when you do that.
But and then it goes back to the fact that she doesn't know any better.
And she thinks the war is everywhere. So I mean, she's prepared at all times.
But then Chris Pine is telling her the whole time, no, it's not. Why would you not listen to Chris Pine?
You don't know the guy. He just popped in your bubble one day.
And yet you go off on a crazy island adventure to go fight a war with him?
She doesn't believe everything he says because he tells her that like he lies all the time and stuff because he's a spy.
But then use the lasso of truth on him like you did on the island. Like you do eventually when he grabs it and wraps himself up with it. And he's like, I am telling you the truth. Like, clearly he cares about you. He even at the end of the movie says, I love you, which is another thing that I have a big problem with. But it's like...
That's seriously the best part of the movie.
See, I don't think so.
Is it because right after you find out the whole theme of the movie is fighting for what you believe in, she says the thing she believes in is love, and then everything you fight for dies. So what's the point?
She didn't even know what love was until 4 days ago.
Right.
And you mean to tell me that she learned in 4 days that love conquers all, even though it was her sword and her shield and her lasso that killed Ares? But love conquers all.
But that's what gave her like the whole...
no, it was the power.
Yeah, sure, and the love gave her the power.
Yeah.
But like, it's been
was
4
destroyed.
days. Like, how do you meet a woman? Like, if, as a guy, we're all guys. If you met this chick on the side of the road
on the beach, side of the beach.
Okay, sure. You imagine this: you got into a car accident, and some chick comes to your rescue and is like, "Hey, what's up? Let me take you to the hospital. Let me help you out. All right." You meet her. Boom. I'm in love. 4 days later, you could be in love with her enough to die for this woman.
I don't think Gal Gadot saved me from a car accident. I would actually die.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't die for her, but
okay. I can get that. I didn't hear what you just said.
If Gal Gadot came and rescued me from a car accident, I would die.
Okay, sure. If it was Gal Gadot, as she pronounces it, I guess that's she pronounces the T. I don't know.
See, for me, the movie was Diana learning to love.
Dota.
Okay.
Not her origin story.
No, see, now that's
a weird.
I would argue that she already knew what love was. And you tell me you don't love your mom?
She was born
exactly, and there you go, and that's what I wanted to get.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. That she doesn't have a mom. I mean, she technically
she does.
Clay.
No, technically she's made out of
clay. She
identifies
that lady as her mom.
Right.
And that's the other thing that was so weird. But is the mother
figure? I would go as far as the mother figure.
Sure.
Because that's the whole thing is like what really happened, and I don't know why they didn't touch in this movie, is that as opposed to the clay thing, it really was Zeus was kind of getting something a little on the side from this woman, and that's where Diana came from. And that's really where she came from, is that Zeus had an affair, and that Diana is the result of that affair. But for some reason, they didn't mention this movie, and it's the Clay. But that was the mom telling that story, and clearly, as she's sailing away, the mom says, "Oh, we're not ready to tell her the whole story yet. You know, we're not ready to tell her what really happened."
What's the name of the Clay dude in Batman?
Clayface.
Yeah.
Maybe that's her dad.
Oh my God, there it is, dude. Basil Karlo.
Tying it all together.
Clayface. Real origin story.
Although he was born much after she was, so much after World War I was he born.
Clayface's grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Great grandfather.
I guess. Dude. Oh my God, dude.
Send us Clayface's
great grandfather Clay.
And fan fiction.
So I don't know. So, but overall, as a film, I liked it.
I liked it.
But where I want to see this franchise go is. I want to see Justice League, of course. Like that's gonna be great.
Later this year.
No Superman in that. Thank God. That'll be really cool. Actually, I don't know if that's confirmed now, but that's what I'm saying. I say he doesn't come back till the second Justice League. But sometime after that, I want to see a Wonder Woman 2 that is still before Justice League.
I think it will be.
And I want to see the movie because she's still, at the end of this movie, even though she understands love and she gets it, she still doesn't know what ice cream is. And I want to see the point of, I want to see where does she learn, how does she go from not knowing what ice cream is to using a Microsoft Surface and sending emails to Bruce Wayne and hacking high-end security in Batman v Superman. How is that the same woman?
You just want to see how she transitions to
become
civilized. How does she become civilized?
I mean, sure. I want to see that. I want to see that movie. I want to see that after World War I.
They're Amazonian.
What does that have to do with that?
They're paleo. They don't eat ice cream.
But she did eat ice cream in this movie.
Yeah, but that's a whole other. We can give them the words. Her digestive tract is not ready for lactose.
But like, I want to see the movie that goes from there, because at the end of Captain America, he was frozen. At the end of World War II, he's frozen, thawed out for Avengers, and then obviously Captain America 2 takes place after Avengers. That worked there. Wonder Woman 2, she's not frozen at the end of this movie. She does not miss out on 1918 to 2017.
So you think Justice League's gonna pull a Star Wars?
What do you mean? Like take place prior to?
Yeah. Do every movie backwards?
I don't think so.
Do the whole timeline backwards?
I think Justice League is gonna start out. And they're all going to be together because at the end of Batman v Superman, Bruce Wayne is like, "Hey, they're coming. They're sending an army. It's Darkseid."
That's the start of Justice League.
And it's going to start out with finding out who Darkseid is. But what I'm also afraid of is that Justice League 1 is going to just be recruiting the team, and then at the end of Justice League 1, they revive Superman, and that's how the movie ends. And then Justice League 2 is fighting Darkseid. So it's like Justice League 2 is the one you want to see. But you got to see Justice League 1 to figure out where it's all going. And it's money, and that's totally right.
And you could be right, because, I mean, you got to think, like, with Justice League 1 this year, we're probably going to get Justice League 2 would be fall of next year, then, I'm assuming.
Or if not, a year later.
But in that amount of time, we'd probably see a standalone Aquaman movie.
We do, yeah. They've already announced. They've already come out, and I wish I had the picture ready, but they have a schedule set for how they want to do everything. So it's going to be Justice League 1, then we're getting a Flash movie and an Aquaman movie, then Justice League 2.
So your theory makes sense.
So then, but the thing is, what I'm worried about is we're going to get introduced, we've already been introduced to Flash.
Yeah.
We have not yet been introduced to Aquaman officially, other than that one trailer.
Yeah.
But it's like, Flash has already been in 2 DC movies. He was in Batman v Superman, and he was in Suicide Squad. So we have seen the Flash. He does have his own TV show, totally different universe, though.
Yeah.
So we've already seen him in 2 movies, and now like they're gonna introduce him in Justice League. He's gonna be a main character in Justice League. Then he gets his own standalone movie. That's kind of where it's really weird. Whereas what Marvel did and why it worked so well is you had Iron Man, so you got to know who he was. You could go into Iron Man not knowing who he was and learn about him and be ready for Avengers. Imagine if you saw Avengers without seeing Iron Man first.
Sure, yeah.
You probably wouldn't care.
But
as much.
honestly, that all that starts is in the Incredible Hulk.
Totally agree, because it's the end of Incredible Hulk that all that happens. So it's like, and I get that, and the crossover is cool, but to have a moment pop up where it's Robert Downey Jr. and he's just like, "Hey, Colonel, I'm starting a team." Like, that 3 seconds was awesome. And I feel like something they wanted to do with, like, The Flash, where he was in Suicide Squad, where they wanted to have that, but you knew that was Iron Man, because Iron Man came out before Hulk. So you knew that was Iron Man, so that was a cool thing. But to have The Flash, the only introduction to Flash that we had before Suicide Squad was the little part in Batman v Superman, where like nobody even knew it was a Flash in the showing that I went to at midnight. People were thinking like, "Oh, was that the Flash? Was that who that was supposed to be?" And then I ended up looking up later. I'm like, "Okay, cool, it was the Flash."
Yeah.
Like, running through the Speed Force, whatever this whole comic book thing. Cool, that was him. But, like, we didn't really get an introduction to him. Same thing and then in Suicide Squad, where he pops up to fight Captain Cold, and there's the Flash there. And it's like, why? Why is the Flash here? Like, I don't know who this character is yet. Like, this is not a cheer-worthy moment. Iron Man at the end of Hulk, that's a cheer-worthy moment because I already know Iron Man. I love him. He's awesome. He's cool.
Yeah.
Flash, you're trying to have this moment before anybody even cares about him, before anybody even knows him. You're going to have that same moment in Justice League when you still don't know about him. Is Justice League going to be the origin story of Flash and of Aquaman? I sure to God hope not, because that's going to suck. We have to get the 2 introduction stories for these characters and revive Superman and figure out who Darkseid is and figure out what's going on with all these other things.
It could be like 6 hours.
And it could be like 3 hours.
It's going to be like Godfather.
I think that could be cool though, because I'm probably in the minority, but I don't really think like the Avengers and big like throwing all the superheroes together works as a movie.
Oh, see, I think it does.
Some kind of like character development in it, and all it is just a big weird like plot.
But that's the point. Is the
and
character
them all making bad jokes the entire movie.
Yep. But the character development comes in the standalone films. That's why we had Iron Man 1, we had Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So we had both of those. Movies. We had Captain America 1, we had the Incredible Hulk, and we had Thor 1, all before Avengers came out. That's 5 movies we had introducing the characters before the crossover happened. DC is doing a little backwards where they're doing the crossover and then they're giving us the backstory about the characters first. Which
I don't really mind it.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm iffy on it. I need to see Justice League first to make my final decision.
Here's the thing, though. If they do that, then they've already failed with Justice League.
What do you mean if they do
that? If they do the origin story of Aquaman, if they do the origin story
in that movie.
Yes, totally. If that's what Justice League is,
it's gonna
then
suck.
They have shot themselves in the foot with what they started with Wonder Woman.
100% agree.
Yeah. Yep. And that's going to take back everything that they did.
Yep.
And it's going to kill the momentum, and no one's going to care about DC again.
I have faith in Nolan North. You can pull it together.
But that's why I think Justice League could have been held off. I think for Batman,
Justice League should be next year.
It should be, and we should get Flash this fall. Yeah. We should get Aquaman next spring, and then Justice League that summer or that fall or whatever they want to do.
Yep. And then Injustice 3.
Have they done Cyborg yet? Is Cyborg?
No, Cyborg's 2020.
Yeah, that's
Cyborg
coming,
and Green Lantern are 2020.
So he's probably not going to be.
But Cyborg is in Justice League also.
Yeah, that's right. But I thought that was a different universe. I thought that was a different timeline. No,
just
so Justice League is going to be Cyborg, Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, and Superman. Kind of, but he's dead. But he's the 7.
I didn't see yet.
If you didn't see Batman, Superman, sorry, the movie's like 3 years old.
Don't watch it.
So that's the 7 members.
Yeah.
Later in, you throw in Shazam, who's getting his own standalone movie with The Rock as the bad guy in that, which will be cool. You get Green Lantern, which doesn't come out until 2020. Green Lantern's coming out, which is like, of course, that's going to be the last one they do to kind of give as much space in between the Ryan Reynolds one as they can. But it's like, this is so much so fast, and it's like Batman, it worked having Batman's origin story in Batman v Superman, because there's literally been 8 other times where we've seen Batman's origin story. You know what I mean? We had Nolan North do it.
My boy.
We had
Nathan Drake.
Exactly. We had it with the Michael Keaton one, you know, like the Tim Burton movies, we had it there. We've had it in TV shows. We've had it in the comic books. We've had it in old Adam West TV shows. We have seen Bruce Wayne's parents die so many times.
Arkham VR, the first thing you put on the headset.
In the video games. Exactly. This thing, and then the dude leans in. Dude, that was so real. That felt crazy. But it's like that. We've seen that happen so many times. I don't need it again in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I'm starting to think they're my parents.
Yeah, I know, right? And so it wasn't Batman v Superman, but they literally spent 5 minutes on it in that movie. And it's like, cool, there's the origin of Batman. We spent 5 minutes on it. You get it.
Yeah.
Flash, not as well known of a character.
Yeah, you've had like 20 years of Batman.
Can you tell me how Flash got his powers?
Yes.
Spider bite.
There you go. Can anybody tell me how Flash got his powers?
He was running by a bus, going top speed.
No, it's from a lightning bolt from the Reverse Flash.
Okay. That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Like, but that is one of them.
That's legit. He's like running on a treadmill.
What?
There's one where he's like running on a treadmill and something?
Yeah, there are like a bunch of weird ones. The big one though that is accepted is the lightning bolt.
Right.
Which is like that.
That's why I went to that one.
Exactly. So he's in the lightning bolt, surrounded by the chemicals. The chemicals are what give him his powers, help him go into the Speed Force. The Speed Force is this whole thing that they're going to have to explain in the Flash movie, and that's like the source of his powers is this thing called the Speed Force, and that's where all the speedsters get their power from. And then Aquaman. Can you tell me anything about Aquaman?
Nope. I love Aquaman too.
Yeah. Can anybody tell me anything about Aquaman? Who are Aquaman's parents?
Aquaman's lame. I don't know.
I can tell you the bad guy.
The god of Atlantis.
And like his sidekick. I can tell you his sidekick.
He is in Injustice too.
But like he's half. So there you go. And that's what you get from Aquaman is like, he's half and half.
His father?
No. Almost so.
Nemo.
Yeah, it is Nemo. Yeah, it's Nemo. Nemo is his father.
Wait, what's the turtle's name in Nemo?
Crush.
Oh my god.
So it's
That's
like
his stepbrother.
you have to, it's like you have to figure out who Aquaman is and explain that. Cyborg, can anybody tell me Cyborg's origin story? Maybe it's on the tip of your tongue. Maybe
more in Justice League. Don't worry.
And that's what I'm saying, and I hope to God not, because that's my whole point. Is like, you don't get that Victor Stone hurt in a football accident, like his dad, a scientist who ignores him and doesn't care about him, tries to use this science to save his son, figures, I can use all these things. Yeah. They're investigating a mother box, which is Darkseid's technology. They do that, infuse that with Vic Stone, and that's where he gets his power from. That's why he has like all these things and can transform and has all these like robotic parts and stuff. Yeah. And it's all because of Darkseid. And it's like, that's crazy. And how are you going to explain that in a movie where you're also introducing the Flash?
Three
other
all these
characters. That's going to be crazy. So I don't know. This has gotten kind of
crazy
off topic.
So
Wonder Woman was pretty
all the way
cool.
back to Wonder Woman discussion.
Wonder Woman was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You told me that Justice League is going to be Suicide Squad 2.0.
Which is already confirmed is going to happen in 2018.
Did they say that they're going to definitely do Suicide Squad 2?
Yeah, they're starting filming in 2018.
Can we talk about Wonder Woman again?
Yeah. So Wonder Woman, back to all that. Now it kind of makes me think, Wonder Woman's really not going to be that bad. What did you have in your Wonder Woman really wasn't that bad. Think of how potentially awful it could be.
I mean, I just saw hair in your notepad.
Yeah, that's okay. So I wanted to mention about the movie. Back to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Usually in movies or in superhero movies, like I'm gonna go with the Avengers, and when Loki is going nuts, right? He's getting his ass kicked, and then he's not. Then he's on top of it, and then he's back to it. But the whole time he's doing everything he's doing, his hair is perfect. Right? Never touched. In this movie,
mine always looks like shit.
Her hair is, and it's all real. It's all like nice and tame. She goes to war. And it's just nuts, right? Doesn't care. It's real. It's you feel it. Okay, that's a real character. It's not. This character just spent 20 minutes in a chair while they prep her, before they do the scene. Right. So it made me immerse more.
That's good. I like that.
That sentence makes me want to watch this movie.
I'm telling you.
Good.
I'm telling you.
Go see it.
It's a very good
movie. $5 Monday.
And that all ties it back into that it's more grounded in reality.
Exactly. That's what I liked about what you said too.
And I like that. And that goes back to the whole, this movie paid attention to details so well.
But another
Except for where the shield goes. Does anyone notice the shield is gone? Like after she dives into the sniper tower, and that's the last you see of the shield. She doesn't have it.
It dropped it.
No, she still. I guarantee she still has the freaking shield. It's Wonder Woman.
It's in her back pocket.
He's right, because it shows up randomly in another scene. Yeah. But the other thing is, the Amazonians, I don't know if they come from any kind of fashionable era, but they're all wearing heels. And it seems to me, if you were an Amazon, you wouldn't give a shit about heels. Yeah. You'd be kicking ass the whole time.
But maybe it gives you an advantage because you can use the
because
heels
you're taller.
To stab people.
Because not he. They were like
sharpen them to a point.
No, they weren't like that. They were like those brick ones. I don't know what they call them, ladies. Let me know. But
the bricks.
They were just flat. They weren't. They weren't.
Oh, I know what you mean though. They're like the flat.
They were all one piece. It was all one piece, right? So. I'm like, where did you get these? How did you even know what those were? You're an Amazon.
But maybe that's part of armor, because you look at like old sets of armor, look at old like knights and shining armor kind of thing. They've got stuff like that too.
But that's even. I would feel the Amazon should be even before all that. So they. I don't know though. Okay. I'm just that's one thing I'm thinking. Where'd you get the heels? But
So the three of us gave it a rating after we saw it. I think we all said 9.
Yeah, 9 or above.
Where would you be at?
I'd probably give it a solid 7.5 to 8.
Okay.
Until I see it again, I'll tweet out if I see it again, whatever I think. So
I say 8.
Okay.
It was like
all in the same.
I don't know.
Same vicinity.
I wasn't like overwhelmed with how good it was, but it kind of exceeded my expectations.
Alien Covenant was
superhero
better.
Movies.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, dude. I like Alien better than Wonder Woman.
No, you said 8 for this. You also gave Alien Covenant 8. biosuits.
That's like worth more than points.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the conversion rate of a biosuit
to points?
I actually watched Alien again, and I changed it to an 8.5.
Okay. 8.5
biosuits.
Yeah.
Is it the top or the bottom half of the biosuit?
Biosuits.
Is it the part that's going to save them? Or they're gonna hey, they don't need the top half anyway. They just kind of walked out there.
They're going to take it off when they think it's convenient anyway.
But yeah, so I don't know. So overall, I think we all kind of liked it. It's definitely worth seeing.
Witty,
and then shout out
to
Patty Jenkins, now the top female
Hell
director of all time.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Nice. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
For movies that have been directed by a female director, she's now number 1.
That's awesome.
Nice.
What about the girl in Point
Congratulations.
What?
I don't even think that's in the top 5.
The girl,
I
Point
forget
Break
what her
was
name
directed
is.
by a girl.
I know.
Yeah,
I think one of the 50 Shades of Grey movies in the top 5.
Oh,
dude, those movies are whatever.
One of the Twilight movies is in the top 5 for having a female director.
Goodness.
But yeah, Wonder Woman's number 1 now.
Wonder Woman's cool. That's a cool number 1.
Nice.
Also, shout out to, did you guys hear about the Alamo Drafthouse in Houston, Texas? Had the all-woman showing.
Oh, yeah.
It was women exclusive. Men were not allowed in this showing of this movie.
Which is hey,
give me
cool.
I like it.
Real quick rundown. Everybody give me their thoughts on it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Why not?
If not, we'll come back to you.
Why
don't.
not?
No, I don't know.
I 100% agree with it. Do you?
Why not?
I agree, but if they had a thing where it was an all-male showing for something else, don't complain.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Okay,
See,
I just want to throw that out real
one
quick.
of those.
I just want to throw that out real quick.
Exactly.
Imagine if this was Die Hard, if this was the newest Die Hard movie with Bruce Willis and his son
That's what I'm
just
saying.
blowing stuff up, and they were like,
Yes.
this is straight up about how awesome men
Father's
is.
Day weekend,
It's
dude thing.
exactly.
No.
It's an
But if they did
men-only
that,
showing.
it wouldn't be okay.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be okay, and it would have been a whole
That's why I said
uproar.
That's
Don't
why
complain.
I said.
And
that
you're going to get an uproar
I'm
in this
assuming-
comments, I guarantee it.
Oh, whatever. Hey, you know
start
what?
a
Suck
flame
it.
war.
I haven't personally seen it, but I'm assuming the internet is abuzz with fucking pitchforks and war about everything about this, which is why I think that World War I was used in this movie as a metaphor for the internet.
Sure, I can see that too. But I totally agree that I think that was a great idea.
Because no one knows who's fighting who and why.
Who cares if it was one showing? It was like the 7 o'clock showing.
It wasn't.
2
They
weeks
did
before
more and more, though.
Sure, they
Yeah,
did
but
a
who
few
cares?
more.
Who cares?
Did you
I'm
still
not
get
saying
to see the
anything's wrong
movie?
with it. I'm not saying
Did you
anything's
still
wrong
get
with
to
it.
see the movie?
Twice, actually.
Twice. You got to see it twice. They did not
What if I wanted to
ban
see it
men
at the
from
Alamo?
seeing this.
No.
Then go see it at the Alamo 3 hours later.
And I'm sure that at that
Get over
exact
it.
I
time,
really
they
don't
had
care.
other showings of it that were
that
regular
were men
showings, right?
showings. Yeah.
Okay, so
like, it was a movie theater.
what's-
They
yeah,
aren't
what's the
saying there's one theater. Like,
Women can have
Come
one
on.
theater,
Yeah,
once,
exactly.
one date, one time.
exactly. Exactly. That's
Girl
exactly
power.
my point. So shout out, way to go, women. You rock. We wouldn't be here without you.
Unless we were made out of clay. You know,
I mean, maybe.
I guess. And if
could have all
Zeus
been
was
made
my
out of
father,
clay. Dude,
and
that'd be badass.
I was an Amazonian woman on a paradise
You know,
island,
we're all
then
just like-
maybe we'd be here without
We're all
you.
just
Shout
like
out
on
to
the
Bachelor
assembly
in
line, and
Paradise.
Zeus is just going by zapping us all, and we're all
Yeah.
becoming, real.
Right.
It's just how it is.
Well, okay. Well, that was our thoughts
That's how
on
humanity started.
Wonder Woman. Any last
Part 1 of
final
6.
comments?
Tune in for the other ones.
Yeah.
Part 3
There'll
of 3
be
coming.
there'll
Part
be
3
more
of 3
coming.
coming
There'll be more
soon.
coming. Don't you worry.
Just wonderful.
We'll get updates as I see it the next 10 billion times.
Yeah.
Ken Burns' documentary on
Wonder
DC
Woman.
movies and how awesome they
It's
are.
done by SuperGen.
Right, I love it.
Yeah.
It's probably just done by me
There you go. yeah.
through the guise of
Actually,
SuperGen.
let's do it. We'll call right now. I will pull that out of you.
Okay, you probably will. I'd love to talk about it.
Good.
But yeah, I want to wrap this up. Cool.
Shit,
No
yeah,
more
we'll
final
get it.
thoughts.
No, we're good.
Everybody liked it.
I
Definitely
love
go
you.
see
movie.
it.
I
Worth
love you,
seeing.
Gal Gadot.
Definitely
I
worth
love
seeing
Awesome,
at
dude.
least
Oh
twice.
my God, Galados.
At least twice.
Yeah. See it twice. See it 3 times.
See
many
you at the
times you
theater.
Oh, that was so good.
What?
See it at the theater.
Thank you.
That was a great exit.
All right, good.
See it once, see it twice, see it 3 times, see it at the theater. Peace out.